welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, you might have noticed that the branding in the bottom corner of this episode has changed. That's because this is going to be the very last episode of The Daily on Left Foot Media, my YouTube channel. Let me explain before you start crying and commiserating with the people around you watching this episode. Mum, I'm talking about you. Basically, I have a young family, and having a young family means that there are a lot of demands on my time, and those demands have increased in the last couple of weeks. And it's just meant that I don't have the time to be able to give to producing a daily video anymore, or certainly not a daily video of the quality that I would like. I felt a little bit in the last couple of weeks like the videos have slipped a little bit. I haven't been able to put as much time and care and effort into them as I would like to, and so I haven't been as excited or happy with the finished product. So therefore I made the tough decision after a bit of soul searching that the best thing to do was to stop producing daily videos. But the good news is this channel is still going to produce regular content. The plan at this stage is to produce one video every week, one new video every week, and hopefully as time allows, on weeks where it's a bit quieter, I have a bit more time, maybe the kids go to bed on time and don't muck around at night, then I'll be able to produce a couple of videos a week. But in the meantime, there will be at least one new video a week. And the other exciting news is we're going to change the style of content a little bit. There'll still be commentary and movie reviews that turns up, but I also want to introduce more discussion-based videos. In fact, the very first discussion, I'm already teeing it up at the moment. I'm working with a guy who is a self-described left-leaning black guy, and we're going to have a discussion, a lengthy discussion about Black Lives Matter and race relations and stuff like that. So that's going to be very exciting. That's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. And I've got a whole heap of other discussions, some quite important people actually, that I'm currently lining up. So hopefully you'll enjoy some of the new style of content. There'll be other different types of video content as well that's going to be coming. Maybe even a bit of original music, a bit more comedy and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit as much as I can and as much as time allows. But in the meantime though, this is the final episode of The Daily, and I briefly want to mention on this final episode, my parting shot, I guess, on The Daily is aimed again at the media, the mainstream media, and the most blatant case of hypocrisy in the media that we've seen this entire Olympics. You might remember this incident here. This is where two Brazilian sevens players at the Rio Olympics, one of them proposed to the other one at the medal ceremony or just after the medal ceremony, and the media went gaga and they were all over the story, and this was amazing, wasn't this awesome? And they were celebrating this proposal, and this gay couple, this gay lesbian couple, they've got a wedding proposal at the medal ceremony, and this is awesome. And then last week, this happened. A heterosexual couple from China did exactly the same thing, and this time the media wasn't so happy. Instead, they claimed that he was being oppressive, that this was some sort of act of domination and control, it was sexism. It was just unbelievable. The blatant hypocrisy in the coverage of these two events is really quite astounding. To be fair, I kind of understand why this actually happens though, because you've got a whole lot of people now who are running around claiming that we are living under a patriarchy. If you're one of those people who is making that claim, you really need to stop making that claim, because it's just not true. We don't live in a patriarchy. We don't live under a patriarchal system. For those who don't know, maybe you've been using this word rather loosely without realizing what it actually means. If we were living under a patriarchy, one of two things would be happening, or maybe both of them. You would have a situation where the male head of the household would have total governance over the household and over all of the other people in his family. He would have total control, and their rights and everything would defer to him. If we had some sort of patriarchal system of government, then the men would be in control, women would be excluded, and they wouldn't be able to participate in or hold positions of power within government. Neither of those things is true. We don't have a patriarchy in the West. We live under a democracy. Men and women have equal rights. If you don't believe me, then please point out exactly where in your Constitution or your Bill of Rights or your current legislative framework men are the only person who is allowed to be in charge of a household and everyone else has to defer to them. Or perhaps you could point out to me where men and women are not treated equally when it comes to government. Maybe women are not allowed to vote, women are not allowed to be MPs or prime ministers or presidents in your country. See, if you've got those sort of things happening on your books, then definitely you've got a patriarchy happening. But we don't live in a patriarchy. The problem is, though, people keep throwing this word around, and the end result of all of this kind of crazy hyperbole and hype and over-the-top, overzealous, I'm not going to say activism, but it's really zealotry, is that you get this type of unbalanced and hypocritical media coverage, where you have two gay women who are proposing and we celebrate it, a heterosexual couple propose, and all of a sudden this is yet another sign of the global conspiracy that we call the patriarchy. As I was reading the story about this Chinese couple, I sort of wondered to myself, what would happen if it was two gay males who had proposed at the Olympics? And would the fact that both of them are part of the patriarchy, would both of them have been oppressing each other? Or would one of them been the victim of oppression and the other one being the patriarchal oppressor? Or would the fact that both of them are part of the patriarchy because they are men mean that act of proposing at the Olympics would have cancelled both acts of oppression out and opened up some sort of rip in the space-time continuum that we are all currently being sucked into? So there you have it. That's my final parting shot on this final ever episode of The Daily. Thank you for everyone who's been a regular watcher of these shows. Stay tuned. There's going to be lots more exciting stuff happening on Left Foot Media. There won't be as much content, but there's still going to be regular content every week for you to sink your teeth into. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon on Left Foot Media.